we are of the earth. We are just like the earth. Now, the worst thing the media does, the minute you spring from the womb of your mother, you have separated from your source, and nobody can tell you where you came from, and nobody can tell you where you're going. Now, a lot of people want to dismiss that. It's a very powerful point to make. That means all the scientists, all the guys that make the bombs, President of the United States, the kingdom, the Saudi Arabian kings, they don't know where they came from. They don't know where they're going. And you have to know that once you get out of that womb, sister, let me tell you, you're on your own. So it's up to you to do like I've been investigating, reporting my birth since I was born today. And in my book, I talk about all the people I interviewed, and Rock Hudson, Shirley MacLaine. She had gone to China with all these women, and I interviewed her in her penthouse in New York. And I've flown all over. I did Sammy Davis Jr. By the time I got to KGO, if people don't remember, he hugged the president of the United States, who was Richard Nixon. Black community turned on him. I did the interview. We flew up to Tahoe, Harrah's, to Tahoe, where he was appearing. And he gave the only interview he ever gave on it to me. Temptations that we get, not only in media, but in all in every phase of your life, somebody's always tempting you to get you, because you are extremely valuable. Who you are and what you are. You come into this life with a lot of wonderful things, and life seems to want to suck them out. How we were beginning to be brainwashed, that the media was not being used for us, because it's a wonderful mechanism for peace. And the British, when I went over to London, our medium informs and educates, yours entertains. And now we're into reality shows, the ultimate entertainment. So, which we'll talk about who you are in a moment, but what happened? Where did all the tattoos come from? Well, most of it subliminally, which you didn't even see coming, except all of a sudden it showed up, and you're wondering, gee, there's been a change in the culture, and I didn't see it happen. Well, you never see it happen until it happens, and you have to wonder where it came from. It's called magic. So one of the first speeches I was writing when I got into media was the power, magic, and imagination of the media, which was my first book out, with speeches I had given. Never get angry at your enemy, because it'll pack so much baggage on you, because you're going to start getting mad as soon as you find out you're black. And so you start packing that bag. By the time you get 30, you're overloaded, and you're talking about stress, and you haven't even lived yet, and you got stress, high blood pressure, and you're overeating because you can't do anything to the man, so you start eating. And we're still eating soul food, which was designed for people who worked in the fields. We no longer work in the fields. So you got to take out that fat back, take out all that pork, and start using the greens. That was good. Cornbread's good. But you don't eat like you did when you were a slave. And that's slave culture food, and a lot of it is good. Keep what's good, and let's get on with our yogurt and our food and our fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. And you can still do candied yams. You can still do your vegetables in the New Orleans style, because I happen to think New Orleans food is best in the world, soul food. And so now I'm telling you what happens when you keep your mouth shut. And I am happy at 84, because I knew when I was supposed to open my mouth, I opened it on a board of pretty powerful people and said, I don't care if they put me off this board. I don't care if I don't have a national show. And I don't care. But that's because it goes back to part 1 in my book, which is about my family. And so one of the books I'm going to be talking about after I talk about the media book is my next book's going to be Life Begins at 80. Because although I'm 84, I published my first book at 80. And so my point is, are you waiting to die when you're 80, or are you waiting to start to reinvent your new life? And my point is, now 80 is the new 60. So that means that people are living longer, because we've decided, got pharmaceuticals and all this. My book is about you, and particularly about women, and the role that we can play just by saying no, just by not being afraid, and by knowing who you are. Because you are the women who are the nurturers of the planet, and that's why we need women. The world isn't going to stop going to war until women get their rightful place, which we're fighting every day to get. It's so exciting when you're my age and you're looking at Barack Obama and the stones he's uncovering, the ghosts ghosts of time well past. He's digging this stuff up. He's done research on it. And I lived through most of it. And that's what's exciting about living a long time.